Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the player ratings for Sheffield United 0, Everton 1. A good, honest, hard-working, energetic performance that led to 3 points. How often can we honestly say that about Everton? It was good to witness and it's made us all feel happy. Let's start. Jordan Pickford, I've given him a 7. Was all right. Flapped at one in the first half a little bit, which I thought he could have let go out for a goal kick, but done his job mostly and didn't get too flustered. And there's a lot, there's a lot getting talked about on this game between him and Dean Henderson. And in the end, really, he's come out the better because, I'll be honest, I'd be slightly disappointed if I'd conceded the goal that they conceded. Because I think once a goal he gets his hand on it, he should save it. But that's a different matter. That's up to them. Not here to watch Sheffield United. So Everton, so I've given him a 7. Jibble Sidibe, I've given him a 7 as well. Solid performance. Didn't get too excited. Didn't go gallivanting up the pitch. He hasn't played that many games, obviously, since we've come back. He stayed honest and he done his job. Never got really, as I said, because maybe Walcott was playing ahead of him, he never really got too excited and started going up the field. He was very disciplined, so happy with that performance. Give us that little bit of, I think, bit extra in the air as well in our own box. So I've given him a 7, good performance. On the other side, Luca Dean, I've given 8. Just because I thought defensively looked good, but going forward there's always a threat as well. Carries the ball really well. And you can see that by the amount of horrible little niggly fouls people try on him. All the time their players, excuse me, their players always trying to get in, and there's a couple of little naughty ones on him. And, he's a lad who doesn't shake a challenge either. Up in the air, he's always strong, make sure he's always 50-50. And for me, I thought he had a good game tonight, so I've given him an 8. The centre-backs, Michael Keane, I've given 9. I thought, won it. And I give him that. He won 9 headers tonight out of 9, so he deserves a 9. But again, nothing, his passing sharp, defending was spot on. And when you're playing a team like Sheffield United, you know what you're going to get. It's nothing fancy, but it works. And they're not like a long ball team. They put the pressure on. But what I thought he did really well was when he was in possession, he played it calmly. He never got too excited. I thought that was really important tonight for us to break their press. So I thought he had a really good game. And, led by example. And next to him, in Jarrad Branthwaite making his first start for Everton, I've given him a 9 as well, just because it was his debut. And he was strong, and all the same things, really. But when it's an 18-year-old kid who's just turned 18, making his first Premier League start, he's bound to make a few little mistakes. And in the first half, I thought he'd give the ball away cheaply at times. But he's been asked to play those passes to break that press. And he kept doing it, and he kept doing it. And the second half, when he was asked to defend, he did it brilliantly. And he's got all those little things. He knows when to get his body in the way of people and make sure the ball goes out for a goal kick. He uses his body really well. He uses his strength. And I was really impressed. And what I thought was interesting tonight, which there was a shot of Phil Jagielka on their bench or in the stands. And I know he's come out in, I think, a newspaper article. He was asked in an interview about he thought he should have got another year at Everton. And there he is sitting in the stand, and I thought, well, if he got another year, then maybe Jarrad Branthwaite wouldn't be making another appearance for Everton. And I think that's a really important thing, because we've got to move forward. And when maybe we have older players who really should be put out to pasture, and we don't do that, and it blocks a young player coming through, we're always the first to criticise. And Everton this time have allowed a player that, don't forget, has only been at the club since January, to get an opportunity, and it's not being blocked by a more senior professional or anything, and I think that's massively important for this football club going forward, and always has been massively important for this football club. So excellent stuff from Jarrad Branthwaite. I've given him a 9, as I said. Moving forward into midfield, Theo Walcott, I've given him a 7. I thought he did his job really well tonight, and he had a couple of opportunities. Played a great cross in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin hit the post with. And he's had a couple of other opportunities where he's made the opportunities himself and maybe hasn't chose the right option. But I thought he pressed them back, worked hard, and it was a really good display by Theo Walcott tonight. And I think that's why people like Theo Walcott, because he does push people back, and it doesn't always work. He doesn't always create chances. He doesn't always score goals. I know that, but I think in the 1.5 games that he's played so far, he's done more than Bernard and Iwobi. So, just in those games. So I've given him a 7. I thought he worked hard and did well tonight. On the other side, Richarlison obviously scored the goal. I've given him an 8. Good, dogged, hard-working performance. He done a cracking foul on one of their players just to break up the play and got a yellow card for it. His goal was excellent. Really moved well into space and put the ball in. But he was all over the pitch, and I think he looks happier when he's involved. And when he's stuck up front at times and the ball's not coming, he just looks frustrated. And I think the manager did the right thing tonight by allowing him a little bit more freedom, and it worked, because he's our best player, and it shows. I think there's a stat out. I think he's the second highest Brazilian goal scorer in Europe behind Neymar. That's huge. That's huge. And I know there's another Brazilian striker in the Premier League that everyone raves about because he's defensively amazing, apparently. But it's about scoring goals, isn't it? And also being defensive amazing. That's what Richarlison does. So I've given him an 8. He was excellent tonight. In the centre of the park, obviously, this has been the area in the last few weeks that we've all been moaning about. Tom Davies, I've given him a 7. I thought he did really well off the ball. He wasn't always great on the ball tonight. There was times where he made some really silly decisions. But I thought off the ball, I thought he did really well and got back and got into some positions to stop Sheffield United moving forward. And I think he's a player who benefits from having a couple of players around him. So I've given him a 7. Gylfi Sigurdsson, I've given him a 7 as well. Best performance in a long while for Gylfi Sigurdsson. More in his more favoured position tonight. Played the crossing, obviously, for the goal. And he just, again, not only looked more comfortable playing in a 3. It unshackles him from the stuff he wants to do, and then he doesn't have to do the stuff he doesn't want to do, which, let's be honest, is defend. And Andre Gomes, I thought, was the best of the 3 of them. It was like watching Andre Gomes from early last season. He was strong. He was moving around the pitch. His passing was excellent, and I think that was the fact that he had players running off him as well. The wide players really helped in that as well. But he looked back to he looked like he could move, whereas last week he didn't look like he could move around, could get round the pitch. Tonight he looked like he could have been everywhere. And it does, we've all written him off a little bit, not fully, but a little bit. Whether he can come back, well, it's just mad how a week between performances, or not even a week, a few days between performances, a player can look completely different. And we said this the other day, actually, in the Villa game, the last 15 minutes, when he looked, again, like he'd been unshackled. The burden of, being defensive was gone, and he looked so much better in those last 15 minutes. And he looked like that all game tonight. It was like, go and be an all-round midfielder. And he was putting tackles in, and he even had a shot which, just went wide. And I thought he looked like he was a little bit back to his best. And listen, they're no mugs in midfield. They've got players who'll put it about, but he stood up to it tonight. So I've given him an 8. And if he can move forward like that, then I'd love to see the Andre Gomes that we all know is there. Hopefully we will. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I've given him a 7. I thought he should have scored with the header in the first half. And he's had a half chance in the second half where it took a little nick, and another day that goes in, that flicks up and goes in, and that's the goal you've been looking for. But it wasn't to be. But he worked his socks off tonight, and I think he done a diving header in the last minute in our box, and I think that typified his performance and everyone else's performance. He done a diving header, and then Richarlison overhead kicked it to the halfway line, and I thought that typified how we all stuck in there together today in this performance, where it wasn't about one player being amazing, it was about the whole team tonight. It really was, to get that 3 points. And I thought he worked really hard tonight. And it'll come for him. It will. Because he isn't one of those players. I don't think he's got ice in his veins. He'll go on runs where he doesn't score a goal, and then when he gets one, he'll go on a run of scoring, you know, a goal in every game or whatever in his next few performances. But the performance was there, the hard work was there, and that helped us get the 3 points. So I've given him a 7. Coming off the bench, Anthony Gordon, I'll give him a 7 as well. He won some good little fouls for us. He's not stupid. He's got a head on his shoulders. I just wish that when he got into the box, I wish he just smashed one with his left foot. He tried to play a ball across and there was no one there. I just wish he'd had a dig. I've given him a 7. And Seamus Coleman, come on, I'll give him a 7. He didn't do anything, but he defended for 2 minutes. What do you want? He defended. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good, generous mood tonight. I'm giving Seamus Coleman. Yeah, well, actually, it was more like 7 minutes he was on for, because there was like 5 minutes extra time play plus the 2. So he was on. Yeah, he got a point for every minute he was on the pitch, basically. I'm giving him a 7. I'm feeling generous. There you go. We're all in a good mood. We're in a positive mood, happy mood. We've won a game. It's great. There you go. Check out Baz's instant match reaction. Check out his 3 things from today. Check out my instant match reaction as well. Make sure you're with us tomorrow when we do the live final word over on Patreon. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. All the links are in the description. Thanks for watching. See you later.